Friends, hello. It's been a hot minute, but welcome back to the countdown movie show that I've been doing of late. I got two awesome friends. We've been counting down the 50 favorite films that we feel like are our all-time greatest movies. And it's been a lot of roller coaster rides with shocking twists and picks. And we are now entering the top 20. And by we, I mean me and Carlito Classico and Mr. Gretzky.
Hola.
Hey. What's up, John? Matt's like, I'm just going to eat. The guy who's been dying for this show, who's been waiting so patiently.
Oh, yes.
As long as it's popcorn.
I'm here for it.
You're allowed to have popcorn during the show.
Oh man, I should have got popcorn.
Little Debbie.
There you go. Little sugar. Get your sugar up. So we are entering the top 20. Tonight is 20 through to number 11. We are cracking the real big movies, favorite all-time rewatchable, really movies that we love. Any thoughts going into this, Matt, as far as your list and the top 20?
I think my top out of the top 20, I think my top 10 have stayed about the same for years.
Okay. So there's a consistency there, but this bit tonight has had a little movement, you're saying?
Yeah, some of the movies have fallen back, some of them have moved up, some have come in and became movies that were there, some weren't there. But most of the movies, I would say probably not from the 2000s on. So everything's before 2000.
So I was going to mention this to Carlito as well. Yeah, Carlito, I know you are an ultra modern fan, and a lot of your movies are in the 2000s up to now. A lot of big faves for you. And I was noticing on my list that I have one movie from the year 2000. One from 99, and then everything else is 90, almost exclusively 94 to 1972. Like everything falls in this bracket for me. But I'm curious for you, Carlito, have you looked at the years of your movies? Do you have a general sense of like, oh, I got a lot of 2000s or a lot of 90s or a lot of 80s? Where are you at right now?
I'd say it's probably pretty evenly split. I think I've got about half past 2000. Maybe not that much. I'm trying to figure out.
So like if that was the dividing line, you'd be 50-50 split?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Nice. Derek mentions Big Lebowski, which was on my list, but earlier in the list. So it was, I think, number 32, if I'm remembering correctly.
So Lebowski, yes, that was a good movie.
Great movie. I just recently rewatched it as well. Perry's in the chat. Perry wants to know, what is everybody drinking? I got water because it is blazing hot, but I did pour a little Jameson here.
Got some bubbly. And I got some Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond.
There you go. Gold Peak. Nice. All right. So there you go, Perry. He's having Merlot. Perry's doing a little
he's bougie
Merlot tonight. Yeah, he's being bougie.
Cheers, fellas.
All right, so we're starting off with number 20. I can't remember who went first last time. Was it me last time? I can't remember.
Might have been.
I can't remember.
What's up, Treehouse? What's going on, Phil? How you doing? And Sid,
why don't you go first?
Yeah, Carlito,
John.
Yeah, let's let Carlito go first this time. We're gonna lead off with Carlito Classico. What is your number 20?
Well, director's gonna be mad at me. This is a last minute change.
Oh,
but I actually have a tie. Because I couldn't remove. I couldn't. I'm telling you, I'm sorry. I couldn't remove it.
Calling an audible.
I couldn't leave it. I couldn't leave it off my top 50, but I couldn't remove it out of the top 20. So like, it's like a 20 and a half here.
Okay, but you got to do two then together. We're not going to give you an extra round. You got to do two together. You're calling two in number 20 here.
Right. And I'd say it would go the first. The two tie would be Braveheart.
Okay.
Mel Gibson.
Yeah, Braveheart. Good movie.
I love that movie. Although I will say I haven't rewatched it as much as I've gotten older. But when I was young, and John's about the same age, so he knows like Yeah, it was a big time movie for me.
Big
Excellent
movie.
score by I think it was James Horner.
Give me the other title. I want to put the movies up here.
Okay, and then the tie movie is Equilibrium. Christian Bale. Kind of a like dark, emotional dystopia.
All right, so let me.
Has Perry seen it? I don't even think Perry's seen it.
Oh yeah, no, he had me watch it for one of our movie shows.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so
we never talked about it though.
Already breaking rules here.
Breaking rules.
2 in his top 51 list.
Throwing in the wrench.
Yeah. I could have done
so what do you want to say about
what 50?
You mentioned the music for Braveheart, obviously like a huge war epic at a time when people weren't really making those kind of movies. Like
and a good love story. I mean,
and
sad
ending,
and
the best speech.
Oh,
ever.
dude, that speech! Oh my god, that ranks up there with.
I had a kid I went to school with that could recite that whole entire speech word for word.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's amazing. I will say though, having studied the history after the film came out, it kind of dropped for me a lot.
I'm glad you mentioned this.
I grew up thinking, oh my god, it's a great story, blah blah, and then you actually do the research on stuff, and it's like, not quite a lot of it's true.
So
I saw the History Channel documentary on it.
It is notable often as being one of the most historically inaccurate movies ever made. It tends to rank like top 1 or 2, down to like. Here's what irks me the most about it. Although I do own it and I do watch it a lot and I do enjoy it as a like legend, not necessarily as history fact. Even the kilts that they wear are the wrong colors. Like that's how bad the history is. Like the most basic stuff you'd want from your Scottish history movie is like, are they wearing the right clothing and the right colored kilts? And they're wrong. They're wrong.
It reminds me of it's like Civil War movies. They get the flags wrong.
Right.
So that's horrible.
I do know that movie does get raked over the historical coals, but I will also say that it, as a movie about a legend, a movie that tries to capture maybe something more poetic. It is quite beautiful. The photography is incredible, right?
Yeah, and it's funny because actually Go ahead, Matt. I was just gonna say the actor that betrays William Wallace. I can't remember his character's name or him.
Robert the Bruce.
Robert the Bruce
character.
He's actually the father in Equilibrium, like they call the father.
Oh yeah,
so it's hilarious. He's got a small role, but it's funny. But
I mean, even where even the fight scene where they had the big fight scene, that's even in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Oh, the locations for the battles in Braveheart, sure.
Yeah. I mean, they picked some beautiful locations.
Yeah, because they said where it's actually, I guess, in historical context, it's not anywhere near wherever they were talking about.
Yeah. Right. And some things are out of order as far as where they happen chronologically in history. They're not happening at the same time. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think
it's sort of like the whole thing, like King Arthur. It's like the King Arthur story too. Got to tag context with it too.
Damn, that was his top movie for years. I think it was released in 2000. I want to say, John would know.
It's somewhere in that range.
It was like right around Matrix time. So this whole style of. I don't know. I like the.
It was 2002.
Matrix.
2002. I like the gun kata stuff.
And Matrix was 99.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Matrix.
And the funny thing, Equilibrium.
Matrix 2, not so good.
Cut out there.
Yep. But that's cutting out a little bit on us.
But Equilibrium, the score was done by Klaus Badelt, who was a protege of Hans Zimmer. So
obviously your favorite music continues.
Yeah, I got a soft spot for that. And it's funny you couldn't buy it for the longest time. I don't know if you can now, but
to talk about your Hans Zimmer, he's doing some kind of stage show.
Oh, really? Live tour. Yeah. I went and saw that in
Yeah, his live tour is going around.
2018, I think.
Yeah, I
That's
saw the
best,
John Williams one
best show I've ever seen in my
where he
life.
did
It's
where he
amazing.
did the Star Wars, and that they had Anthony Daniels there and everything.
Perry was like, I was in second grade. Equilibrium blew my mind.
But yeah,
Great. You would have been 9 years old.
I remember scouring the internet and I found a
Or 8. No, 8.
high quality audio. It must have been stolen from a studio computer or something of the soundtrack, and I ripped it, and so I have it, but no, you can't find it nowhere, and nobody has it. So
from Napster, you use Napster.
I think it was I don't remember. It wasn't LimeWire or Napster, but those were two prime.
Yeah, Napster was so big. I remember using Napster.
But hey, I would have bought it if they'd made it available, but they didn't. So it's like I didn't have a choice.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well,
same thing with Ferris Bueller's Day Off. No soundtrack for that until
I'll leave it at that. Matt can go ahead.
All right, Matty, what is your number 20?
Number 20, filled with lots of cars, lots of actors, a great comedic movie from, I believe it's from one of his best movies, and that is Cannonball Run.
Yes.
I thought maybe.
Love it.
All right, tell us about it, man.
That's just a great movie. Just all the people in it. Great movie. I know they've done a sequel. Wasn't as great as the first one. I know I think they did a third one too. But I think that one had to do with Jamie Farr. I think he was in that one.
How do you replace Burt Reynolds, right?
I know. That's what I say. You know, Burt Reynolds and Don DeLuise.
And Sally Field, right?
Yeah. And who else was in it? Oh, and then you had Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr.
I mean, like you mentioned, the cameos. It's kind of like the original Muppet movie. Just like everybody who speaks is somebody famous.
Wasn't Rickles in one of them? Maybe not.
Might have been.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I thought he was in
I wouldn't be surprised because, I mean, they had Jackie Chan. Come on.
Yeah, that's great.
I
got to go back and watch those. Those were great.
That's just awesome. I got both of them. But yeah.
My dad, I remember watching those with my dad.
And then it's like, you know, then they make like spin-offs of different movies, you know.
Right.
Spin-offs of them, you know, like, or like movies that try to emulate them, like Gumball Rally, stuff like that, Death Race, stuff like that, to try to emulate the movie.
Sure.
Like, why? You know?
Yeah.
Well, they want to cash in, you know, they got to make more money.
It's like what they said about music. If we have one band we have a boy band and it makes great money, we want to have 50 other boy bands out there.
Yes. They don't know how to do originality, but you can copy stuff, right?
Yeah. Movie business has been doing that for the last 30 years.
Well, yeah, now everything is sequels or remakes, right?
Yeah. But yeah, Cannonball Run, the greatest comedy, I think.
I want a great road movie. Like you know, it's just one epic chase, basically.
Yeah. Then when you get to the end there, Don DeLuise running, and then the outtakes of him and Burt Reynolds.
Those were great.
I just love the outtakes from that movie.
They have good.
That's usually what I watch. I watch like the commentary, the documentaries. I watch that before I watch the movie most of the time.
Sure.
Heck yeah.
Great pick, Matt. Yeah, a whole lot of fun. All right, my next one is my only 2000s movie that I've got left on my list. It's also a Cameron Crowe movie. I'm a big Cameron Crowe fan. I've got Almost Famous, the film about his childhood. If you want a movie capturing like 70s music era, you know, the end of rock and roll, some would say this is a fantastic nostalgia kick with a ton of great music, like all the way through it, all these phenomenal songs, and also just a really one of a kind coming of age story where Cameron Crowe basically tells his own childhood, where as a pre-high school graduate, he got to travel with the Allman Brothers as a kid, and he was writing for Rolling Stone magazine and traveling with the band and learning about adult life as a he's probably like 16-year-old, and this movie recaptures it in a wonderful way. They obviously changed the names of the band and everything for the sake of history, but it really is a wonderful look at Cameron Crowe's life, and great performances. Billy Crudup is wonderful. Jason Lee is fantastic. And then Hudson was nominated for the Oscar. She supporting actress, I believe, Kate Hudson. So just a whole lot of just really quality movie. And then, of course, stunningly photographed, beautifully photographed. And like I said, captures a bit of history, and you get a little Ziggy Stardust, cameo stuff in there. There's a lot of like great music legends sort of at the periphery of the film. So if you haven't seen it and you love music, I highly recommend Almost Famous.
Oh yeah,
haven't seen it.
You'll love it. I mean, it's great.
You need to see it.
Yeah, it's a wonderful movie about like a band on the verge of becoming famous and clearly like cancerous from the inside and struggling with it, and then this kid who's trying to like make a name for himself, and they just want the kid to make them famous in his article he's writing for Rolling Stone. So they're getting him drunk and getting him laid and trying to do whatever they can to get this kid to help them. It's fantastic. It's funny, it's tragic, it's like it's all over the map. Wonderful.
Nice. That's on my list.
All right. Well, then it's your next big guy. What is your number 19?
On my list to watch, that is.
Okay.
19. Ooh. This one jumped around a lot, but I couldn't take it off. Stars Tom Hardy, Shia LaBeouf, a little cameo from Gary Oldman, and it's got Rebecca Chastain? Jessica Chastain, and has a great score, great soundtrack, bootlegger movie about the Bondurant boys.
Oh, yes. Lawless. Yeah.
It's a little known movie, I think, that needs more recognition.
I think I've only seen it once.
Yeah, most people never even heard of it. So I think it's because Shia LaBeouf
that you love so much.
I think just the it's got the guy that was in a lot of other is it Jason Patrick his name? Something like that. He was in the horrible Terminator Genesis movie, but he's still a good actor.
Guy Pearce.
Anything after
Clark.
30.
Yeah, Guy Pearce plays a straight up weirdo in it, but he's really good at it. But it's just about country backroads family that bootlegs, and you got the Chicago mob kind of getting involved, and I don't know. I think it's tough to put my finger on it, but it's one of the soundtracks that if I'm out driving or out doing something, like I'll throw it on sometimes and just kind of disappear into the ether,
And the director, who I've seen a few of his films, is John Hillcoat, and he's an Australian. He did The Proposition with Guy Pearce, which is a great Australian Western. And then he did The Road, which I know our buddy Gore Vidal loves because it's a Cormac McCarthy novel with Viggo Mortensen as the dad in post-apocalyptic world. He's trying to keep his son safe. And then he did Lawless. So some pretty intense films for sure.
Jessica Chastain's great in it. It's just
I don't know. She's really talented.
Don't know how else to describe it besides it just speaks to my soul. That's all.
Sure.
So even Shia LaBeouf is great.
I got to go back and
not a
rewatch
Shia
that.
LaBeouf fan. So
you know what? I have not. I'm not a massive fan of his, but the one that won me over was Peanut Butter Falcon. That movie is freaking amazing. That movie that just break your heart, tear you down, but shock you, twists, great performances. That's the Shia LaBeouf movie that if you think he can't act, watch that one.
Yeah.
Oh, he can act. I think at the time there was a lot of controversy
crazy.
when it came out. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
mean,
think
he's
after
under
the
the edge.
whole, I mean, he hung out with a bunch of Wall Streeters, and that's all I'm gonna say is
Yeah.
they kind of effed him up mentally, I think, for a while. So
I mean, he poo-pooed on Indiana Jones. He poo-pooed on Transformers.
Yeah, he
So
definitely had a
ended
few
up
bombs there.
yeah.
And he basically, you know, if he didn't, you know, put those movies down, he probably would have had a better chance of making more movies.
But I'll add Lawless to my rewatch list. I do want
need
to
to
see
watch
that again.
that. I need to
Oh,
see that.
Matt, yeah, you need to watch it for sure.
All right, Matt, what is your number 19?
Okay, number 19. I said I wasn't going to have props, but I have a prop.
Oh.
Okay. And it came with the movie. I bought it. I don't remember what anniversary it was for it, but I ended up buying the 1987 movie that starred Andre the Giant, that starred Mandy Patinkin,
got it.
and everybody's favorite, but it's right here, The Princess Bride. The book.
Great
The book.
Great pick.
The
Yeah,
book came
William
with
Goldman's book, and then he wrote the screenplay that Rob Reiner directs.
Yeah. And that was the last thing, I believe, or one of the last things that Andre the Giant did before passing away eventually.
Yeah, I mean, he
Like
definitely was in a physical state towards the end of his life there.
Yeah, I
dealing
think
with
he
a
died
lot.
in 91 or 92, somewhere around there.
Great movie. What is it about this one?
It's just forgot the Columbo was in it. Peter Falk. Mr. Kevin Arnold.
Fred Savage, yes.
Fred Savage, before he got himself kicked out of Hollywood.
And Robin Wright in her very first screen
Robin
role.
Wright, before she became, I think, Sean Penn's wife.
And then, or Jenny and Forrest Gump, right?
Yeah, Jenny. Yeah, Jenny.
Which, by the way, she was a villain in that movie.
One of film's great villains, yes.
Yes. Poor Hanks.
Yep.
But yeah.
So I will say this movie is going to show up again tonight.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And then Sean.
Wow.
Oh, what was that guy's name? Sean. Oh, the Inconceivable guy.
Oh,
the actor Sean. I can't think of his name right offhand.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. He did an episode. He was the neighbor to Bill Cosby in the Cosby Show.
Wallace.
Sean. Yeah, Sean Wallace. Yeah,
Wallace.
And he was
Wallace is his first name.
Okay, Wallace. Yeah, he was in whatchamacallit. He was in Clueless too, I think.
He's in a ton of stuff.
TV
he's a
show.
great
I think he was in the TV show Clueless
100%.
and a bunch of other movies. But yeah, he's great in there. Mandy Patinkin. He's literally said that the line that he gives in the movie, everybody that comes up to him that meets him recites that line to him.
How lucky though to be able to be such a part of cinema history, to be so closely tied to a pivotal moment. And Gore Vidal, you're missing out. I mean, I just revealed that this will appear on my list at some point tonight. It is one of those phenomenal bits of cinema.
Oh yeah,
and it has a bunch of creativity, a bunch of comedy, a bunch of heart, a bunch of intelligence. The characters are incredibly witty.
Yes,
and then this phenomenal cast, like every single person who speaks is so well attuned to the script.
Oh, Christopher Guest.
The Six-Fingered Man.
He was the Six-Fingered Man, the guy that played the king.
Count Rogan.
I forgot.
Yep. That's Chris Sarandon, Susan Sarandon's brother.
I think so. I think something like that.
I think Chris Sarandon is her brother.
Yeah.
And he plays Prince Humperdinck. Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, and don't forget Billy Crystal.
What?
Well, of course. Yes. Billy Crystal, of course.
and what was her name? Is the one that played his wife.
Carol Kane.
Yeah, Carol Kane. Yeah, she
Very
was
funny
great.
actress.
Yeah, she was
Yes.
Taxi. She was the grandma in Addams Family.
Yep. No,
She was
she's
in a
incredible.
couple other movies.
But again, everybody is. Even the random guy they bring in to be the priest who marries her, like, is hilarious in his 2 minutes on screen. The guy just is a riot.
That was like my sister thought that the guy, like our bishop, because I'm Catholic, and the bishop at the time was doing something. My dad got some award for teaching Sunday school.
Okay.
And that got nominated for that. So they had a bunch of them show up, and all she could think of was that the bishop reminded her of the priest in Princess Bride. And all she could remember is marriage.
Marriage. Yeah. Such great line delivery.
I know.
Wonderful. So great pick, Matt, and we will talk about it again. That's one.
God, I gotta watch this.
So be ready. I can't believe you haven't seen it, Carlito.
No, I know it's.
I mean,
hey, I'm giving you guys props for.
It's my favorite list of 80s era movies. It's like 87 is like for me is like the best movie.
Good year.
I must have just missed that one.
A lot of people like 85. But 84, 85, but I'm an 87.
88, 89.
I also think Rob Reiner doesn't get enough credit as a phenomenal filmmaker, and he has a great way with comedy. This movie is a little bit aligned as far as performances with something like Spinal Tap, which was a great mockumentary, and Christopher Guest 84. Is in both of those films, and Rob's directing both films,
and they're making a sequel to Spinal Tap.
So there's something about it, like it feels like a troupe of actors all kind of performing this like theater piece. It's really kind of fun, and
it's almost like the Mighty Python type, type movies.
Absolutely,
this group of guys that just pick each other up, and it's not my last Rob Reiner movie.
Good, because he's got a bunch of great ones
in my top 20. I love it.
He does have some great ones.
I still have one.
Well, let me jump to my number 19. Because we'll come back to Princess Bride here in a little bit. My number 19 is Die Hard, gang.
Christmas movie.
It is.
It's one of my favorite holiday movies. It's absolutely it is the action, modern action movie. I think I do have another one that comes a little later. Actually, I have a couple, but this one is kind of This one's kind of the template that I think a lot of action movies were built on later.
Yeah,
it's just a great rewatch. Like I've never been disappointed. Yeah. All the actors doing so much great work in this. Even from the slimy lawyer, guy in her office, every one of the terrorists, the head of the police department, the two random FBI agents who are not related, but they're both Agent Johnsons. Yeah. Like it's just. There's so much to
Reginald Johnson.
Here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, of course.
The limo driver. Come on.
Yeah, Argyle. Wonderful.
And then especially how they wrapped it up in the third movie.
No, you know what?
I agree with you, Matt. I agree with you.
I won't say that I dislike the other Die Hard movies, but they all betray the original one, and that hurts me.
The last two were terrible. The last two were not that great.
The original film is about a guy who is so outgunned and has no chance of survival. And the other films, it feels like the terrorists are in for a bad day. Like it doesn't feel fair to the terrorists.
The third one had Samuel L. Jackson.
I'm not saying I can't watch it and enjoy it. I'm just saying they undercut
the movie.
This movie. I don't want to rob
the second one. John McClane is way outgunned. But you're right. The terrorists do have a bad day.
They have no chance. Those terrorists.
I mean, the third one with the guy being his brother. That really.
I like that little tie-in.
It's not a bad twist. You know that there's no way they're going to get him. You know that there's no way. It's just you're really just waiting for the shoe to drop. How he's going to get them. Versus like in this one, he doesn't even have like very many bullets or shoes.
Yeah, he doesn't have shoes.
Yeah. He's just running around with a wife beater or a tank top and his khakis or whatever and a gun and a couple of clips, and that's it. That's all he's got, and he's just using his intelligence. It's just a great movie. I
Shoot
don't
the
know what else to
glass.
say about it. It's everybody should see it. If you haven't seen it,
Oh God.
it's just a great movie.
Is there anyone alive that hasn't seen it? I mean, besides maybe Aborigines or something?
I mean, we're getting to the point in my list where it's going to be a lot of like, oh, yeah, it's one of those. And this is
mine
this is
are
one
going to
of
be
those.
like you'd have to like some of the movies.
Won't be the last time we see Die Hard tonight. That's all I'm gonna say.
There you go. I like hearing that. All right, Carlito, then what is your 18?
18. We got Robert De Niro's first directorial debut, The Bronx Tale, basically a story of Chaz Palminteri's childhood, basically.
I feel like there's a Y in Bronx, but I can't remember. Bronx Tale.
No, next.
I'm thinking of Onyx. There's no Y.
A Bronx Tale, great movie.
It's and I discovered that late too, man. Like way after Casino and Goodfellas, and I believe it was what, like 94, 90, 96, somewhere. I don't know. It was somewhere mid.
It's definitely early 90s, mid 90s,
early
mid 90s.
Yeah, I can't remember when, but yeah, it was early.
But I didn't see it till probably 2000, mid to late 2000s. I don't think.
I feel like some movies come and hit you later, and Princess Bride was like that for me. Like I didn't really appreciate it until I got older, and I think some movies just they gotta meet you at the right time.
Yeah, and then the spoiler alert. Joe Pesci cameo was great too in that.
Yes,
but
there's so many like there you go. There's so many great little moments, I think, in Bronx Tale. So many like little moments of wisdom. I love the like bit when he's like telling him how you know a girl's a keeper. If you
which is outdated.
If you lock your door and lock her door, and then you unlock the door to let her in and walk around the car, and if she doesn't reach across and unlock your door as you walk around, then she's
selfish broad.
Yeah, it was a great little moment and so beautifully captured and
outdated today because everybody's got the electronic.
Yeah, now you got a key fob and whatever. But it was a beautiful.
But you got childproof lock.
And that soundtrack is great too with because Robert De Niro, obviously, I think everyone knows he's kind of into like blues and stuff, and a lot of classics on there, a lot of doo-wop kind of acapella stuff that's thrown in there too.
Isn't Chaz Palminteri's got a great part in this? Yep. He's the gangster, right?
Oh, one of my favorite. Yes, he plays Sonny.
So good.
But anyway, one of my favorite parts is when those bikers show up to the bar.
Oh yeah.
And that I see that thing all over like Instagram shorts and stuff these days too. So it's great. It's like now you can't leave. That's great.
Yeah, locks them in.
But it also has like an overarching theme about life, and for me, like it really hit because there was a period where like I was like, man, working man is a sucker, you know. But it's like it shows the duality of kind of, you know, even Sonny didn't believe like he was doing good. He was just doing what he had to do, and he made a lot of money. But he always respected the little kid's father, you know. So
yeah, absolutely. No, it's a really timeless coming of age kind of story. Really beautifully done. Good pick, man. I love it. All right, Maddie, number 18, sir.
18. We're gonna go with Chasing Amy.
Ooh, nice.
Love Amy.
Let's see. Load that up here. Boom. All right, man. Let's talk.
Oh yeah. I think it was the first one I've seen of his.
Ooh, wow, you peaked. You started at the top.
Yeah.
I think it's the same for me too.
I think I saw that first. Then I saw Clerks, maybe. No, it wasn't Clerks. It was Mallrats. I think I saw next.
I didn't see that one.
But the way it all works out is that Mallrats was actually in chronological order. Mallrats came first. Clerks came second. This one came 2 years after the events.
You mean as far as where in like where the characters are in the stories?
Yeah. And in those three movies,
Clerks was his first movie, but like
Clerks was his first movie. But the way he did it was the girl dies in the YMCA pool.
So Mallrats is the prequel.
is the prequel to that.
No,
That's how that happens. And we find out that they go to the funeral in the second one, in Clerks. Third one, they end up 2 years later. That was the whole gist of the thing. 2 years later, that was where Ben Affleck finds out, oh, you're friends with the girl in the YMCA pool. You know? And then her friend was the one who was in the insane asylum because she had sex with the dead guy.
Yep. In the bathroom.
And the whole funny story about that, I've watched the documentary, like the after scenes or whatever, that Kevin Smith said they actually put a plunger up there to make the guy look like he was that he had one. So they used that. But Amy was like the whole thing. And then you had like that whole story where he told that story and then he like gets bashed about it in Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back.
Yes.
Because he gives that whole Amy story and he goes, you and your stupid story.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's a great, phenomenal pick. I think it was on my top 50 earlier in the series.
Yeah.
It's one of those poignant, funny, creative movies where you can't figure out where it's going to go and what's going to happen. It's really well.
It's just
crafted.
like he had that. And then when he did Clerks 3, that got me because lo and behold, the person that was at the end of the movie was friends with the Brian O'Halloran who played Dante Hicks.
Yeah.
And she was good friends with him. And he didn't tell her the ending of the movie of Clerks 3. So everybody thought that the whole ending of Clerks 3, because it was all about, the heart attack, Kevin Smith and his stupid heart attack had just happened. So everything was about the heart attack and everything he talked about was about that. And come to find out, the one who ends up dead.
Don't give it away because I haven't seen Clerks 3. Where are you going with this? Stick with Chasing Amy. You're talking Chasing Amy here. Where are you going with this?
Well, I'm just saying,
What's up, Ian?
Oh, hey.
Ian,
but yeah, it's a pretty. But yeah, they missed the opportunity to put the soundtrack out.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, Kevin Smith didn't do a soundtrack for it for some odd reason. I don't know why.
Probably couldn't pay for the rights or something to some of the.
And one of the songs, the song that she sings, Joy Lauren Adams sings, she actually wrote that. And they wrote that as a country. They wrote that as a country song.
Really?
That's funny.
Yeah, so she actually wrote it and sang it, but for some reason
Kevin
never put it out as a soundtrack or whatever. But you can download it. I actually downloaded it off of Napster.
See, we're back. We're back to stealing songs again. What's up, Carson?
Yeah, it was one of those. It was just one of those things where having to watch and a movie that he didn't spend a whole lot of money making either.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, all of his movies were done on the cheap. That was just the only way he could make movies work.
The only one that didn't was Mallrats. He got a little too much money. And didn't make,
but even by comparison to like most movies made at the time, it was still a pittance. It was a very small budget.
And they say they get like royalties. Like I've figured out, like their royalties stink.
I'm sure
because
as long as it keeps them going, that's all it matters.
I mean, a lot of those guys said they get like they'll be sitting there and they'll look at it and they'll go, "Wait a minute, I got 11 cents." Because this movie showed on Cinemax or Showtime or something, or in some country somewhere, it just happened to give him something. So they didn't. A lot of the extra actors didn't, but he used a lot of his buddies to make.
Always,
to make
that's
movies.
All of his movies are that way for sure.
And Hicks is always in it,
Yep.
Oh, and don't forget Matt Damon was in that.
Matt Damon has a cameo, but for me, it's Jason Lee and Ben are the reason to watch that movie. They're both the chemistry between the two of them is fantastic.
It almost made me want to start my own comic book.
Are you gonna be an artist or are you a tracer?
I know, and that was the producer who was the guy who was the tracer.
Yeah, you're a tracer. Yep. Yeah. He's in most of those movies.
And then at the end, it's like where what was that? The guy from Mallrats, and it was in with Jason Lee in that other in that TV show, Sipler, or how you pronounce it? Ian, the guy Ian, the fat guy.
Okay. Okay.
He's not fat
I can't
anymore.
honestly.
But
I can't remember all those random actors who are in.
yeah, he was in a. He's been in a bunch of his movies, but he was in. Remember that he was in. My Name is Earl. He was his brother, and my Name is Earl.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the guy at the end who basically brought him the book, the sign, Baby Dave or whatever it was, and then he was telling him about how he started his own
Man and Chronic, and
him and his buddy started a comic book club or something, and how they ended up. Something happened, and same thing that happened between him and it was, well, whatever happened to Affleck? You know, he was like asking him, you know, whatever happened to him? You know, and he's like, you know, oh, we went our own way or something like that. And then he throws the book on her desk about Amy.
Yeah.
And then in Jay and Silent Strikes Back, they bring a full circle back to him.
Yeah, there's a lot. He has a lot of tie-ins to his other movies for sure.
Yeah, that brings full circle back to it when they go, oh, they should have when they show the Blunt Man and Chronic movie in the theater, and they say it, everybody's like, oh, I should have made that other one, the Chase and Amy one, that comic book he made about you.
Yep.
That was hilarious.
All right. Number 18 for me, I got a Bill Murray classic. I think it's the last of my Bill Murray movies here. Groundhog Day.
No meatballs.
I can watch this one on repeat a lot more than pretty much any of his other movies. For many reasons.
Not because of him, but
it's funny because it's a movie that I hear was really difficult to make, and that Bill was going through a divorce, and he was particularly awful, and it kind of ended his friendship with Harold Ramis, the director, and they didn't talk for a really long time till near the end of Harold's life, and then they finally reconnected or whatever. But because of making this movie, but it's shocking because the movie is so fun and funny and creative, and Andy McDowell is so great, and everybody in the town, his brother Brian Doyle Murray, so great.
I heard she's tough really to work with too.
Andy McDowell.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that made this an
kind of a diva.
Set.
I've got a whole bunch of her movies.
It was good. I wasn't a huge fan, but I loved her in that one, man.
She's great. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
And then Chris Elliott as the cameraman, really funny.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Lots of fun little twists, and then it really earns its happy ending. It goes through this really heavy depression kind of phase, and then comes out the other side in a really original kind of creative way. And yeah, it's a movie that just speaks to me in a big way, and I like the hero's journey, the way they redeem Bill's character. So,
hell yeah,
great movie.
And you can't forget Phil either.
No,
I mean, Phil was
Phil Connors.
Phil? No, Phil the Groundhog Phil.
Oh, yes.
Tawny Phil.
Yeah.
And you probably watch it every Groundhog's Day, don't you?
When I worked in a video store, I was allowed to play it because it was PG and I could get away with it. So I played it on loop all the time. I just kind of would watch for the bit when he's, getting it on with that girl.
Is it PG? I thought it was PG-13.
I think it's PG, but it doesn't matter. I played it right.
No, I got
nobody in Hollywood.
I got it somewhere in the pile of movies.
Hollywood Video is not going to call me out on it now.
Dude, I try to watch it every Groundhog Day. I missed it this year though, but I watched it like a week later, so it's fine.
Ned Ryerson? Yeah. All right, Carlito, number 17.
Ooh, 17. Another mid-90s classic. Michael Mann, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Val Kilmer. I
got you. I already got
Ashley
it.
Judd.
Yeah.
We could go down the line. Great cast, great soundtrack. Just Michael Mann and who was it? Nicholas Winding Refn. They both capture LA like
Drive. Yeah.
Nobody I've ever seen on film. And
I mean, between this and Collateral, I think Michael Mann has it. right?
That one might make an appearance later. I'm not sure, but
Collateral.
yeah, and the soundtrack's amazing.
Or as they say in Spanish, calor.
Moby was on the soundtrack.
Yes.
I mean, the bank heist scene, he even stole a line from Dillinger, basically about not stealing the people's money, stealing the bank's money. So don't risk your life. And God dang,
so many great actors, man.
And after Val died, I rewatched it recently, and like me and a couple other buddies, I don't know if I was talking to you, John, but that scene with him and Ashley Judd at the end, like where he's coming back to her, and like there's no talking.
Yeah.
There's no music. It's silent, and I guess the music kind of starts towards the end of it, but it's just them looking at each other and just her saying, part ways.
Yeah.
I'm just like, God dang, that scene's heavy.
Yeah.
But
no, it's a beautiful, beautiful moment.
And that's one of the few beautiful moments in that movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of tragedy.
It's intense. Yeah. A lot of tragedy.
For sure.
And also, and I just recently discovered this. I thought it was BS, but it's true. Okay. So you know how De Niro was talking to Pacino about, if you ever see the heat around the corner, if you can't leave it within, was it like 10 seconds flat or 10 minutes or 5 minutes flat? I think it's 5 minutes. So the scene where he goes into the hotel to get Waingro and he leaves her in the car, right? When he gets back and sees Pacino, it's exactly that time frame. And then he splits from her. And that's just crazy, dude. The detail that Michael Mann put into that. Like, it's awesome.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Good filmmaking. Nice little cinema note.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even notice that till some guy on YouTube, of course, broke it down and I saw it. But, props to, I wish I could remember the channel, but it's a great video. But dude, that movie gets better with time too. It sucks that we lost Val, but man, he had some great stuff. I even liked him in The Saint. A lot of people didn't care for that.
That's a very fun movie.
Yeah. That movie gets bad rap because that ruined his chances of becoming Batman a second time.
I heard that he just passed on Batman.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
They told him that they wanted it
somebody else or something.
No, they wanted 2 years after that Batman made so much money that they said in 97 we want to do that. He said no. From what I heard was that no, I've already got another movie that I'm doing, and that so you wait a year and we'll film it and we'll have it come out in 98. Well, they didn't want to do that. So they went and got the Nesbex thing coming out of TV in George Clooney and thought
let's not blame George Clooney for
Val dodged a bullet on that. Actually, I should say Val dodged a nipple on that one.
We're going to blame the director.
I mean, I would blame the producers and screenwriter personally.
And after that one, I think after that fourth one, that's when Burton went crazy and told him that you ruined my Batman.
Well, I heard that I saw that interview with Joel Schumacher too, and I don't think it didn't end up how he wanted it either. I think there's a lot of meddling, and
that's why he passed on the fifth Batman.
Yeah,
which turned out to be the first one, basically the same characters. They were going to use a Scarecrow.
That's right, yeah.
And Ra's al Ghul, and they decided, and he said, no, I'm not doing it. After doing 2 and the fanfare wasn't good.
Yeah, the fallout around that.
He just said, no, I'm moving on. And they
some great director came in and rebooted the Batman franchise. I don't know who.
All right, I'm not going to let Carlito derail us with Nolan talk. We were supposed to be talking about Heat. I'm going to move us to Matt. What is your 17th pick, buddy?
Okay, 17 of all movies. We're going back to, I think this was on your list. We're going back to Jurassic Park.
Nice.
Oof, so great.
Spielberg makes his first appearance of the night, but not his last.
No, Jurassic Park.
Welcome to
Jurassic Park.
Great movie.
Great
movie. Music, great acting, great effects.
Great everything. Terrible use of dinosaurs, but
terrible use of dinosaurs.
Yeah,
I don't know. For the time, they did all right.
The effects still hold up, King.
Yes,
I mean the effects are, but the way that they designed some of the dinosaurs, it didn't work. It wasn't the way, even though they had the greatest guy there directing the dinosaurs, the guy there, the paleontologist that they got, was one of the greatest to do it. It's that they've plugged out. I guess I've seen it on different things about it, but they've said, other paleontologists said that they've picked up plot holes in the dinosaurs and that kind of thing, that they
so there's some scientific inaccuracies.
Yeah, some scientific inaccuracies.
Yeah, I don't know enough about dinosaurs to care. I'm just like, it looks incredible, it sounds incredible, I'm buying all of it.
It reminds me of, if like that whole movie there, and when I was watching the new ones, I haven't seen the newest, the one that's coming out, that's I guess a reboot of the last series.
I don't even want to know.
It's like a requel. I wouldn't call it a reboot. Totally.
It's like the second movie. Remember how they had that, or the third movie where they had the other island?
Yeah,
I didn't mind that.
This is like the one that's coming out is like the island that was like the original island, but they left the dinosaurs that they didn't want to put in the park on that island, that were too dangerous for the park. So something stupid, but I'm gonna watch it anyway.
I will say
already derailed that franchise.
Yeah, but to be fair, there were 3 islands in the books, so I'm not gonna hold him too much on that.
And Jurassic World 2 had a reference. Some of that part of that movie had a reference to the first part of the movie when the dinosaurs were hunting down the kids, and the raptors were inside the kitchen, and there were some parts in there. They did some referencing to having.
They definitely did some homages for sure.
Homages to that, back to that movie in the second one. But I didn't see the one after that yet. I have it. I just have to find
Dominion.
It. Yeah, I have to watch
it.
I
didn't mind Dominion. I definitely liked it better than the second one. I was not a fan of it.
Yeah, second one I liked. First one I was like, okay, this is going to be cool. Second one, a little more cooler, but I don't know. It's better than the third one.
For me, there's only one truly great Jurassic movie, and it's the original, and then everything else is just subpar.
And Goldblum gets a bunch of money for being in like what?
You know what? He earns it just for that ripped shirt pose thing. He's now like a meme of
chaos, Matt. Chaos.
He's the man.
Yeah, it's funny because I was just talking to my dad and my brother for my dad's birthday dinner the other night. I still remember like it was yesterday walking out of that theater. It was a hot June day, and my dad had taken us to see that. And he rarely goes to movies, but oh man, he knew how to pick them back in the day.
Yeah, I saw that.
There was a lot of good summer blockbusters back in those days. So there's a lot of good options.
I still remember most of them I went to see. Yeah.
Yep. That and the '89 Batman really just like kicked my
no more Batman
fandom into overdrive. But it was '89 Batman, not Nolan, so we're good.
Yeah, or '66 Batman.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I have thoughts on that, but that's a different show.
All right, number 17 for me. I think this is the oldest one we're probably having tonight. 1953. I'm a big Hitchcock fan, and we're going with Vertigo.
Ooh, not North by Northwest, but Vertigo.
I mean, North by Northwest is a lot of fun. This is probably the least of his like fun ones. This one definitely is heavy, and this one's harder to watch. But the music is so creepy, and the performances are so wonderful. There's almost like a sci-fi edge to it. You know, at one point you're not sure if there really is a ghost, and what is this woman possessed? Jimmy Stewart's always great at everything. So wonderful in this, and it's ultimately like the more you know about Hitchcock, the more this movie is revealing it's like Hitchcock's obsession with like forcing women to look a certain way. The second half of the movie is all about James Stewart's character finding a woman on the street that he thinks looks like the woman he was in love with who died, and trying to make her dress like that woman and change her hair to look like that woman and talk and walk like that. It's like creepy to the extent that you realize Hitchcock has a lot of these blonde ladies dressing the same in all of his movies.
And some of them,
and he was famous for torturing them on set, like the way he would treat them. And so in my head, it's like this is his therapy session. Vertigo is Hitchcock. He's the one in the on the couch there getting therapy from this movie.
And the girl from The Birds said that ruined her career. Yeah.
Yep.
She couldn't stand
Grace Kelly. She did a few movies with him, and then she basically, married up and disappeared.
Yeah. And then died. Tragically.
I'm a big Hitchcock fan. This is not the last time we will discuss him on this series, but it's the last time I'm going to discuss him tonight. But I don't
know if I've seen Vertigo.
Because Mel Brooks wasn't a couple of Mel Brooks films.
He did one called High Anxiety.
Yeah,
it was great, very funny.
Based on Hitchcock. Yeah.
Vertigo ranks as the best film ever made on some lists. I agree. Wow. It's very high. I have one Hitchcock movie higher that I love, and
Birds
I watch a little more. But I also go back and forth. They switch places depending on my mood. So this is just where it is now.
Maybe I saw it when I was super young. I need to rewatch. I need to revisit.
It's definitely worth the time. Most Hitchcock is worth the time. Rope, for sure. North by Northwest, Rear Window. Psycho, The Birds,
dude, I love The Birds, man.
Lots of
no sequel to The Birds.
The man who knew too much, and what was the
wasn't
Notorious? Dial M for Murder, which he remade himself. He made that movie twice.
Yeah.
To Catch a Thief, a lot of fun. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not going to slow us down. We need to catch up. We're going a little slow tonight. Carlito, number 16.
All right, I'll try to speed this one up. Number 16, Road to Perdition.
Oh, your background from earlier.
That was filmed near my parents.
Really?
Yes, in Geneva, Illinois. That was filmed in Geneva, Illinois.
I believe that was Paul Newman's last film.
He did some voice work for Cars.
Okay,
that was about it.
Yeah, that was
but again, soundtrack. I think it was Thomas Newman. Great. It's a story about a guy who basically, didn't have a family, was brought into this Irish Catholic mafia kind of deal. I think outside or around Chicago, and and there's not much else to say. It's a story that leads into basically a father and a son kind of on a road trip, and
based on a comic book.
It's dark, yes. Based on the
there is a comic
novel.
book. You can read the graphic novel of it if you wish.
Most people don't know that, but
yeah, and most people don't. I would say that's probably my favorite comic book movie. I would say.
Oh, not the one that Viggo Mortensen did.
No, which one? Although I do like History of Violence a lot. It's a great.
Oh movie. Yeah, I liked it enough, but that's not
Cronenberg.
Favorite. But yeah, so yep, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Great one. All right, number 16 from Matt.
All righty. I could put two together, but I'll just slap them all in. I'll slap them all into one movie. But we're gonna go.
That won't be the last time that's done.
We're gonna go with Beetlejuice.
He's wearing the animated series shirt. Look at that.
Great Can't wait for the third one.
Oh yeah, they're talking about doing a third one now. So
that'd be great. I wonder what they'll call it.
Beetlejuice. I guess 3 Beetlejuices. I guess.
Yeah. I surprisingly love
single Tim Burton directed movie on my list. I mean, I had Nightmare Before Christmas earlier, but he didn't direct that one.
No, he didn't really direct it. No.
So, is this your highest ranking Tim Burton movie? Is this the peak of the Tim Burton?
It's probably Planet of the Apes, right?
You don't have to tell us if there's which one might rank higher.
I think it might be.
For me, something about like Edward Scissorhands is always like neck and neck with Beetlejuice for me. Those two, it just depends on the mood. Am I more silly like Beetlejuice, or am I ready to just like be a sad story like in
because it was
in Edward Scissorhands?
What was the other one? Edward Scissorhands. What was the other one he did? Oh, he did that other movie with.
He's done a ton.
Oh, he's done Wiener, whatever. Wienerville.
Frank and Weenie.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yep. obviously Batman 89 we mentioned a little bit
ago. The failed Superman Returns.
Oh, let's not get into his failed.
Or Superman
projects.
Lives. Superman Lives. Returns already happened, but Superman.
I know a
Lives.
lot of people love Ed Wood, which is a very
Ed Wood.
A good movie.
Oh, I love Ed. I've seen Planet 9.
Planet 9 from Outer Space. Yes.
What about the Planet of the Apes remake?
I've seen the original.
Carlito, don't make me kick you out of here. Come on, man.
Planet of the Apes.
Great soundtrack by Danny Elfman.
I mean, all of his movies have that.
It wasn't. What was another movie he did? I can't think of
Big
it right
Fish.
Big Fish was good.
Yeah, with Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, Burton's he's a hit or miss guy for me, but I really love Beetlejuice.
He is. I heard him once say in an interview, I wouldn't know a good story if it landed on my face. And I was like, that seems accurate. That seems accurate.
And
but I think he's able to like elevate a good story if he's lucky enough to find one.
He started on the Muppet movie.
Did he? He was.
He was
doing. He was a puppeteer on the.
That's funny.
Original Muppet movie.
I believe that. Something about maybe Labyrinth, Dark Crystal seems like it fits.
For sure.
Yeah, he was doing that.
And apparently, Michelle, I think there's a Big Fish musical now. Like you can go see it on stage. Like there's a theater.
Beetlejuice has a musical.
Musicals.
There is. Oh goodness, this guy.
Clue has a musical.
I'm gonna keep us moving. I'm gonna go with I think this is my last animated movie. I think we have reached the end of the animated portion of
too
this
bad.
show.
I still got some to go.
This is my movie from 1999. So this is currently my most recent film.
Finding Nemo.
It's The Iron Giant, gang.
Another movie I haven't seen.
This movie's incredible. Man. I will compare when I do my number 15. I'm going to compare it to that as far as the plot structure goes. They're very similar in my 15 and my 16. But this is Brad Bird's first big movie. Brad Bird, who would later do Mission Impossible 4, the one when he climbs the Burj Khalifa. He would do Ratatouille and The Incredibles and so many great movies that he directed.
Toy Story.
Yeah. Well, he didn't direct the Toy Stories. He was working at Pixar for most of that time.
Yeah.
But he did direct Ratatouille and he directed
owned by Steve Jobs.
But Brad Bird, super talented guy, really has a knack for storytelling.
Oh yeah.
The voice actors do a great job. Even Jennifer Aniston as the mom, great. You know, you'd think like she doesn't have a really interesting voice, but she does a wonderful job in this.
Oh yeah. She's pretty good.
Just a movie that absolutely makes me cry every time I watch it. Just hits you in the gut a couple of times over. It has some really big ideas about life and people, and it takes place during the Red Scare. So there's a lot of like communism is bad. Be scared of Sputnik and all that kind of stuff because that's the era that it takes place in. Is the launch of Sputnik, and then of course the animation is gorgeous. Like the drawings are so phenomenal. Just really just gorgeous hand-drawn animation. So there you go. Actual Dracula is in the chat. What's up?
And a great toy line, I believe. I think it had a great
there is a really cool version of the toy, like a metal toy that I saw the price tag and then I didn't buy it.
That's why I say about a lot of that stuff.
Most of those toys. Yeah.
All right, number 15 from Carlito Classico.
This might be my last Spielberg. No, it's second to last Spielberg.
Oh, I got a lot.
Saving Private Ryan, John's favorite war movie.
That is a great movie.
Yeah, that was 99, I think, 98, 99,
somewhere in the late 90s.
Somewhere right around that time period.
It was shamefully did not win the Oscar, which went to a stupid movie, but I'm not going to bring that up. But
Shakespeare in Love.
Spielberg, John Williams score, probably one of the most accurate depictions of D-Day on the beach.
Oh my gosh, the Omaha Beach sequence is absolutely insane.
Crazy.
It's one of the most powerful sequences of film I think ever made. It's like iconic, I think.
I was like 17, and I was there with my dad again, another pick by my dad, and crap, we were just like tense. We were just like gripping our seats just like the whole time at the beginning and just like geez, this really throws you in there,
it's
man.
hard, yeah. And then a bunch of great actors. I mean, even Vin Diesel guys are great. Although
that's right, yeah.
Vin Diesel's the voice of the Iron Giant. So we've got back-to-back Vin Diesel movies here.
And then the guy that plays Ryven, what was his name?
Oh,
then you also got Jackson, the sniper.
Yeah, that's Barry Pepper.
Barry Pepper.
Matt Damon.
And Tom Sizemore.
Tom Sizemore, yeah.
Good Lord, the list just goes on and on.
Yeah, a ton of great actors.
But yeah, great story.
I mean,
Spielberg just nailed that one, man.
I have one.
I know a lot of people poo-poo the melting face thing. Isn't that it?
It's the fact that the movie is told from Ryan's point of view, but Ryan is not there for almost any of the stuff that takes place in the movie.
No.
Like he's not. I don't know how he tells the story when he wasn't there. Like,
and then they go hunt him down. They're like, "Oh, we need to find him."
All you needed was it to be Ed Burns there at the end. And it's Ed Burns.
I know.
He lives. Like, have
He's
Ed
awesome.
Burns tell the story. That's all you needed. He was there for everything.
Well, maybe Ed Burns did tell him, but it was off screen. You just didn't see that.
In which case, it's like he's not even telling the story that really happened. He's just telling a second hand version.
Come on.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. If you cut that little bit
at the beginning and
the end, the movie works on its own.
Ryan's daughters and granddaughters were smoking hot also. So I'll just say that. But
I'm going to move him on. Number 15 from Matt. What do you got?
Oh, I'll say one more thing about Private Ryan. Because of Private Ryan, that whole rule, my grandfather and his twin brother never made it over there.
Oh, wow.
And I think it wasn't originally because of 4 brothers from Iowa that were on the same ship or something. Or,
in the
4
South
brothers
Pacific
and one left, and they didn't want to. And if you they didn't want to have all the family members from one family.
Yeah, because like 3 of them got killed on the same day.
Yeah,
something like that. That's why they went hunting them down.
Who played the general that was sitting there reading the?
Was it Dale Dye? Was that Dale Dye?
God, I know that great though. That.
Yeah,
there's a small part, super small part.
I'm not sure.
15.
All right, number 15. Yeah.
Okay, this is one of my oldest movies.
Ooh,
Charlie Chaplin.
No, we'll go back to 1922. We'll just get the Dracula movie. No, I'm only kidding.
Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, we're gonna go with Maltese Falcon.
Ooh, great movie.
That is great.
Humphrey Bogart's best movie, I think. Next to Casablanca, and what was that other one he did? They remade it. Sabrina. Those are his 3 best movies, I think.
With Audrey Hepburn.
Or besides the African Queen, but that's number 4.
You can't keep saying that's his best one, except for this one, and then that one, and then this
except
other one,
for that
other one, and that one after that.
But those 4 would be on his Mount Rush. Should be on his Mount Rushmore of movies he made.
I like Shakespeare in Love too. It's just this grouch over here.
Hey, I'm not a grouch. I just did.
Maltese Falcon, great movie, and I will say I do have another Humphrey Bogart movie on my list at some point. But this one is this one is so fantastic, and the more you research about it, and the things they were trying to like subtextually say in the script but couldn't, about like several characters being gay, and how they kind of had to like work it into the background of the story and not explicitly say anything, but it's so well played out.
And the ending was
I appreciate that. I don't like the in your face stuff. I really like the subtext, but
I mean,
I'm a grumpy old man. So what do you
if
think?
you look at Sidney Greenstreet, the villain, and his like henchman played by Peter Lorre, they're clearly lovers. They're clearly gay.
Yeah,
they're clearly lovers, but they could not say it. They couldn't explicitly say it, so they had to just like leave it in the background. If you're watching the movie.
Yeah,
and if you watch it, they both flirt with Humphrey Bogart, like almost explicitly flirt with Humphrey Bogart as a way to try to win him to their side. They both are trying to vie for his affection. So there is like a weird homosexual love triangle in this movie that I think is very great. It's really well played for the era.
Like me, Greg, and John a little bit.
Yeah. We got 3 of us right here.
Yeah.
Or
then the ending was great.
Oh, so good. Yeah, it's a MacGuffin. It has to be, worthless. Right.
I saw that super young too. I never even realized the subtext back then. But
watch it again. See if it's as blatant as I'm describing.
I'm sure you're right.
I feel like it's hard to miss it.
I believe it.
Yeah,
on
you
rewatch,
can't
so.
now. When you're a little kid, you don't understand it as much.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Older I got, I was like, I started realizing that's it.
Yeah,
That's what
and then
they're
all
doing.
3 of those actors appear, of course, in Casablanca together. You got Peter Lorre, Sidney Greenstreet, and
Oh, yeah.
then Humphrey Bogart together again.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was a
then
little kid, I liked
Sleep-
the Herbie movies, so you know.
There's nothing wrong with Herbie, man. He's fully loaded.
Herbie.
That's true. Wasn't there Herbie
Goes
Goes
Bananas.
Bananas too, or something? Yeah,
Yeah, Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo. Herbie
Yeah.
Goes Bananas. Herbie the
that's
Love
great.
Bug.
Anyway,
Herbie Rides Again. There was a Herbie TV
John's
movie.
turn. Number 15, John.
Sorry,
Go,
no, I realized
John.
my next one has a long title and I forgot to type it, so
Uh-oh.
I should have done it sooner.
Uh-oh.
But yeah,
The Great
the
Big
reason
Matt,
why
I got to revisit that one.
my 15 and 16 go back to back is they basically have the same plot, and that is E.T. Man, I love me some E.T. And the plot for E.T. and the plot for Iron Giant are basically the same. Young
Really?
kid
that makes
young
my
kid with
list.
a single mom who has a little bit too much free time on his own
Mhm.
and doesn't really get a lot of supervision, discovers a creature from outer space and has to hide it from the local government who is looking for it and his family. Doesn't trust any of them to know what's going on.
Yeah.
But the more he is connected to this thing, the more it's changing each other and they're having an impact
Mhm.
on each other, and things are getting dangerous as the government's moving in on trying to capture this thing, and their little town is sort of being invaded, and before long paranoia is striking everywhere in town and they've got to keep the creature safe, and his buddies are helping him. It's basically the same plot. That is E.T. and it's also the Iron Giant. It's like the same plot, but they're both exceptional films by great filmmakers that like you are completely wrapped up in it. You are so soaked up in this movie. And I this is one of the earliest film going experiences I can recall. My dad taking me to this movie, and I was just bawling in this movie, crying when E.T. died, and I was like, he's dead. Oh my god, this movie's horrible. and then of course, like I wanted E.T. to stay, and he's not, and it was like so emotional. My dad had to like take me out for a burger afterwards and promised to buy me an E.T. toy afterwards just to console me.
Little John.
And did you go see the 20th anniversary?
I was like 5 when I saw this movie.
Yeah. I was 4. So
and I to this day I can still get worked up over it. It's just such a powerful movie, and on top of which it pays homage to another movie that I love, John Ford's The Quiet Man with John Wayne. They have a whole sequence when E.T. is at home getting drunk on beer, and it's impacting the boy at school, and he's setting all the frogs free in science so that they don't dissect them. And then there's this moment when E.T.'s watching the John Wayne kiss Maureen O'Hara, and there's the little boy grabbing a girl in his classroom and pulling her out just like John Wayne does and pulling her in close for a kiss in the middle of science class. It's a great little homage.
But I have
Ford.
that. I have the 20th anniversary. I saw it back when they redid it for the 20th anniversary.
Wait, Matt gave you an E.T. Hot Wheels?
Wait, what? E.T. Hot Wheel?
Go watch his video. Go watch his live video from earlier today.
Damn it.
There was an E.T. Hot Wheel in the video.
You'll see the 5 cars, the 6 cars I gave him. Yeah.
No way. What's up, Ian?
Hey,
But
also,
E.T. had to be it.
When E.T. gets hit by the fridge door, that was not planned.
Oh.
That was an accident.
Yeah.
So that's a great story too.
And
Mom
they
coming
added
in there
and they added a few things where like in the 20th anniversary, they added
oh, that's so good.
point where he went into the bathroom.
Classic.
Where he was in the tub.
I got a couple of gifts of that.
I don't
I even had
remember
and look, I had this one ready too from earlier.
Oh, that's so good.
Scrooge, no.
All right, I'll keep
Vermouth
us moving
rocks
though.
with a twist.
Yeah.
Okay. 14.
I'll keep us moving because that was number 15. We were technically halfway through. we're right
at the.
Okay, 14.
All right, Carlito. What is your 14, my guy?
14.
Yes.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Ooh, it was mentioned in the chat earlier.
Gladiator.
Not the second.
So this was 2000. I mean, this is right on the cusp. You know,
I
know
thought the
Taylor.
would be your favorite.
I've never seen it, and honestly, after some friends told me today they watched it, I don't think I'm going to watch it. But that said, again, so I was kind of still an impressionable recent high school graduate, but it was the first time I'd watched one of them stupid, epic what do they call that? Classic Hollywood epic things, and I actually got into it. Like I'd seen all the classics before when I was younger, but I was too immature and stuff to really appreciate them. But this was one where it was like kind of modern, like it hit me.
Sure. Yeah.
And I mean, Russell Crowe's great. I hated Joaquin Phoenix.
You're supposed to, yeah. He was a wonderful villain. Yeah.
And but the soundtrack, Hans Zimmer, even for its day, like the way they did the Coliseum and stuff, the CGI and whatnot was great. So
sure.
And what's her name?
Nielsen.
Yeah, Connie Nielsen.
And Richard Harris.
Richard Harris, and then the one guy that passed
Matt.
We lost Matt.
He'll come back.
What was his name?
The sequel is preposterous.
Basically the gladiator guy that was talking to Maximus.
Oh, the one that he like is training the crowd. Him.
Yeah, the story about how he passed basically.
Yeah.
Before the film came out, like he was drinking so much, and God, that guy really went hard. But it's just and you know, going back to that one, I will say has jumped ahead of Braveheart throughout the years. Because Braveheart used to be like my top 5, and then it's just consistently.
Yeah, I do think the historical inaccuracy hurts Braveheart for me.
For me, it does too, and I hate that. But because I still love the movie, but
as poetry, I can appreciate artistically that it's really kind of wonderful as like a legend or whatever. But Gladiator, I think, feels at least a little truer to what that era was like. As far as the accuracy of the battling and all that kind of stuff. Big Joe, Brother Joe's in the chat. What's going on, Brother Joe?
Bread and circuses, man. Bread and circuses.
He did another great song last night on the Blame Fable show. Haters gonna hate. Brother Joe always sings the songs at the beginning of the Blame Fable show every Friday. He's amazing.
I will. If Gore says the sequel is preposterous, I will not watch
it. Hopefully Matt is getting his computer back up and running and not having too big of an issue. I'm sorry, buddy. Nobody likes computer problems. I'll see if he's popped me messages on Instagram.
But yeah, man, I mean, that story, the revenge, and just it hit me all in the feels.
Sure.
And I remember like seeing it in the theater. I was so pissed when
Joaquin.
When he poisoned the sword or the knife
when he stabbed him
before, so it wasn't even really fair. But
of course,
but then him, with the fields, and then that Hans Zimmer score with Lisa Gerrard's voice and stuff like dude, it hit me, man. It really
as it should, man. It's a powerful sequence.
For me, that's my favorite Ridley Scott movie. I can say that hands down. So
I'm trying to think if I don't have a Ridley Scott movie in the rest of my list. So I'm trying to think of the peak of Ridley Scott.
And I think that might, I don't think I have any of his on my top 10 or anything.
Do I even have a Ridley Scott movie in my top 50? I do not.
Ooh, what? You didn't?
Shocking.
I thought, wow, I can't.
I had Aliens, so I was more of a
Aliens.
That's James Cameron, though.
Wait, so he did Alien.
Ridley did Alien.
Okay.
Wow. So
I swapped those two, but that makes sense.
Shocking omission of a great filmmaker.
And honestly, since that, he's been, I don't know. I'm too much of a fan of stuff.
I'll just mention my favorite of the Russell Crowe films, because Gladiator may have made my top 100 somewhere, but way higher is Master and Commander. I'm a big.
I need to watch that too.
Dude,
that's on my list.
You'll freaking lose your mind.
That's what every one of my buddies keeps telling me.
It is so flipping good. And Paul Bettany as his like foil, the doctor on the ship. So fantastic.
Spoiler alert. But
not a spoiler. He's the doctor. What do you mean? He's the second lead.
I thought you said he was a foil.
Like a foil. Like he balances out the ship's captain and the soldier side by being the doctor.
There's Matt.
Side, right? The medical. Like I'm here to save lives.
Did you kick your wife off the internet or what?
No, I overheated.
Oh no, yeah, that's not good.
He's running a little hot.
Jetpack overheated, so decided to shut down. So
So real quick, the last time I almost watched Master and Commander was the night I discovered John Wick. So
I mean, that you didn't lose, but you also did not win.
Right?
No.
So
All right, Matt, we're ready for your number 14, buddy.
Okay, going back to the Val Kilmer type movies. So we're gonna get ourselves in with the Pecker, Willow.
Ooh, yes, Willow, great movie. I just rewatched it. Holds up.
And I would have had the
well.
prop. I would have had the prop. The Nintendo, the NES game for Willow, but I couldn't find it.
Great one.
I didn't even know that existed, to be honest.
Yeah, great. Mad Mardigan is one of my favorite.
Yeah, they had a characters. Video. Oh yes, he's great.
Yeah,
Warwick Davis, him, the girl.
Yeah, Joanne Whaley.
Not so much. I didn't get to see the TV show.
Kevin Pollak as one of the brownies.
Lady, I think she did.
Kevin Pollak is great as the
Kevin Pollak's in that.
Yeah, so there's two little they're called brownies.
Yeah.
They're like little little elves. There's they're like this big and they're like
very
causing a lot of havoc through it. It's Kevin Pollak and another guy I can't remember the two brownies. They're so funny. They got the super high squeaky voices and so great.
Yeah, because the one guy is the other guy. And then you have the who was that? Who was the guy Val Kilmer's buddy?
Oh, I can't remember all the actors in that. I'm not going to remember that one. That's a lot to ask.
I can't remember that guy. That guy was there. He was turned into a pig. Yeah.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of that.
Which turned him all into a pig. Then they had the TV show, which I never watched. That
I have not watched it either.
I heard it was not great.
Yeah, I've heard mixed.
I heard he was a lot of. I heard it was a lot of Warwick Davis was too diva. Diva on it.
Interesting.
It's all about him. So, yeah, but he's in everything. George Lucas puts him in everything. Ron Howard movie.
Yep, a great Ron Howard movie. Yeah, he's got a ton of great movies. I don't think I have him appearing on my list either. I think I may have missed some Ron Howard.
I think my favorite Ron Howard's back there. Yeah. But anyway.
I think mine might be A League of Their Own no, I had Apollo 13. I had Apollo 13.
Oh, yeah. You can't go wrong with that.
Apollo 13, yeah. Oh, but what about his first directorial movie?
Was that the one that's the Graveyard Shift or whatever? Was it the Night Shift?
Might have been.
I think it's Night Shift with Michael Keaton.
Ooh, I don't know if I've seen that either. God dang.
All right, well, I'll go on with somewhere. My number 14, if you guys are doing a lot of these kind of like sword battle epic for number year 14, I'm going black and white comedy. I'm going with my favorite Mel Brooks movie. I'm going with Young Frankenstein.
Classic.
This is a movie
putting on the Ritz.
I can watch this movie at any point and just be absolutely engrossed and just love every cinematic jewel that occurs in this movie. Mm-hmm. So wonderful. The fact that they were able to shoot the movie on the original sets that they used for the original Frankenstein film, because they were still there on the studio lot, and he was able to then keep them and utilize them and then use them for his shoot. So fantastic. The cameo from Gene Hackman, so wonderful, so funny.
And I think Mel Brooks is the only one left of the original people.
That's like of the cast.
That's alive, yeah.
Because is Peter Boyle? He's no longer with us.
Peter Boyle died a while back. Yep. Terry Garr just died.
Yeah,
I'm realizing how many of my gifts are actually movies in my top 10, 11 through 20.
Dude, I'm gonna do that for my top 10. It's a great idea.
The other girl died. I think the other guy died. Gene Wilder's been dead. He died.
Terry Garr has passed away. Yep.
I think the other guy passed away. The guy that
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Eric is here. Yes, just in time for Young Frankenstein. I think this is my highest ranking comedy on my list. Nah, actually, because I mentioned I still have Princess Bride coming.
I thought you said you were done with comedies like 2 lists ago.
I don't know that I said that.
I thought he said he was done with comedies.
Comedies don't usually make a lot of headroom in my top 20.
Still got some romantic.
But I got
comedies.
2 more. Madeline Kahn, obviously hilarious.
Oh yeah, she's passed away.
Yep.
1995, I believe.
Also, one of the rare, satire comedies to be nominated for the best original screenplay at the Oscars or adapted screenplay. So they, he and Gene Wilder wrote it, and they both got nominated for an Oscar for it, which is like super odd and rare.
Igor.
Abby something. But so quotable, so funny. Just
his hump moves.
Great pick.
Yeah. What hump?
Is that your last black and white?
No, definitely not my last black and white.
I didn't think so.
No.
It is my last black and white for today. But no, my final list.
I got one black and white one left.
I don't even know if I have any in my top 20.
I've got three. I've got 3 left in my top 10. I have 3 black and white movies.
I've got one, bud.
All right, Carlito, number 13, buddy.
13.
The 13.
Oh, 13.
Apollo 13.
Hans Booby. Oh, your White Knight.
There it is.
Die Hard.
The second time tonight. We got it again.
Just, echoing everything John said. Also, a great soundtrack, which I finally got a couple months ago through, I don't know, some soundtrack club I'm a part of, and they finally re-released it.
Okay.
No, it wasn't a bootleg, but I wanted to for the longest time because it wasn't available, by Michael Kamen, who passed, and great score. Everything John said, and what's his name, Alan Rickman.
Right? We didn't talk enough about
it. Yeah, I know. I was gonna bring it up, and I'm like, you know what? I'll bring it up when I go. But
smart.
Oh God, so Rickman. Good, man. One of the best villains, ever in an action flick, I think. But
God, so great because he's so charming.
Yes, he even fools
so funny.
McClane
so
for
clearly
a little bit,
menacing.
Yeah,
and one of the few times he
froze.
He did freeze up.
He's keeping us in suspense.
He's got to get through 3 more picks before his computer overheats. He needs to get 3 more movies in.
We need to get you a cooling package for that thing.
Well,
but
the key is you can't put it on your lap. You got to have something there in between.
Dude, when my dad says, because he's still stuck in kind of the old school ways of watching television, but every year, that's on around Christmas and end of the year. Like every time that comes on, I can't not watch it. I'm like, I know, I get it, And even the old TV edited for TV versions were kind of funny too. But
sure. Well, and this was a movie. I remember when there were debates around why TVs needed to move to a rectangle and be widescreen. This was a movie that was a great example of it. And because there's several shots that utilize both corners. My favorite one, if you watch this movie edited for TV and they crop it down to a closer to a square, when Al Powell, the cop, comes into the lobby and he's like investigating, like, is this a real deal? Is this was this a real cry for help that we got on the radio, or is this just a prank? And he's walking through the lobby towards the elevators. He gets like 10 steps in and then he turns around, decides to go back out. And he's like, nah, this is a waste of my time. In the pan and scan version on television, that's all you see. He walks in, he walks out, and that's it. The widescreen version, you can see that there's a corner to the wall and a guy holding a gun. If he goes 3 steps forward, he's going to die. They're going to kill him.
Right.
You ruin the tension of that whole scene by cutting the sides off and just giving us the cop walking towards us. You just have a moment where he walks towards us and walks away. But you can't see this guy holding a gun, like right there on the edge of the frame. There's tension and excitement there that you totally lose if they
100%. I don't think I noticed that till I own the widescreen DVD or Blu-ray. So
it's one of those. So there's several movies that I because I was in school for this stuff and I was passionate about it.
Yeah.
This movie, A League of Their Own, is another great one where they're often cutting 3 or 4 girls out of the shot just to get the 2 or 3 in the middle. And then, of course, you mentioned Michael Mann earlier, but Last of the Mohicans is another great one where the cinematography cuts out so much. The second you just cut and use the center of the screen. It makes a huge difference.
Ooh, Matt's in high def now.
Oprah had Bruce Willis on a show. I think that contributed to the success of the movie. She raved about it, and that's how I heard about. You heard about Die Hard through Oprah?
That's hilarious. I just recently saw some of that interview, I think, on Instagram or something, but
that is bold.
That was interesting.
Yeah. Last time I saw something on Oprah was Tom Cruise jumping on the couch.
All right, Matt, what is your number 13?
We're going all the way back to New York City, Empire State Building, King Kong 1933.
Classic.
All right.
Love that film. My grandpa introduced me to that film. Great film.
There you go. This might be the oldest movie we have on this show.
I think it might be, because that might be my
I mean, I know I don't have anything earlier than that.
Yeah, I don't think I do either.
Everyone knows I don't.
So here we go. The earliest movie on the list. Obviously a cinema milestone as well. What is it that holds up for you about this movie?
It's just, it's like you go from a great movie like this that's just like, it beats out the one from 76. I'll tell you that much. King Kong from 76. One with Jeff Bridges?
Well, Jeff Bridges and Jessica Lange.
But this one just started
What about
it all.
the Peter Jackson one?
Oh, Kong. I like that one. I have it here somewhere.
Okay.
I have a collector set of it somewhere.
That movie's way too long. Like
insanely.
Like
they should have just killed Jack Black earlier. They should have just killed Jack Black earlier. It took them too long to kill Jack Black, but true. That's all I gotta say. Oh, and then you have the sequel to this movie, which was King Kong Lives.
Okay.
If you've never seen it, I mean, it's 80s movie.
I think I did.
It was
I did. I remember liking it.
Yeah, you can't find it on DVD. It costs too much, but I found it. We ended up finding it, but I own it now. So I remember renting it on a VHS. That's how I saw it, was on VHS. Went to a local video store. My grandparents had it.
Same here. Yeah.
And went in there, saw, King Kong Lives. Oh, okay. I'll watch it. I'll see what it's about. Watched it. Loved it. Because I love the first movie, all the cinematography that they did back in those days, all the little claymation, stop motion, all that kind of stuff, all that stuff that was made famous.
Oh, eventually, for sure.
Eventually, Ray Harryhausen made all that stuff famous, so they all used all his stuff,
Of course. I mean, they were basically coming up with the rules of modern special effects right there in the moment.
And they just, having you, and then the Empire State Building, seeing that, you're like, iconic building before you had the Twin Towers.
Right.
And now Tower, whatever it is, Tower 1 or whatever. And that.
I will say I have not seen this movie in well over a decade, so I'd be curious to see where it sits now in my mind.
Been 30 years for me.
I mean, it holds up. It holds up, but it's not like all the remakes that they tried to do and everything. And then all the rights.
Who was the blonde chick too that was in the original?
I can't remember.
I'm not going to know a single actor's name in this.
I should know who she is, but I don't.
I thought she's
famous for something else.
Yeah, and she played it pretty well, but
yeah.
Let's see here. Fay Wray.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, it was just like when they shot him down with the little itty bitty planes, the toy planes.
Yep. Yeah.
And then basically
bringing him troll we got in our chat.
What a troll.
Then he ended up. Oh, we had somebody earlier wanting wire hangers.
No wire hangers.
Gore, that might be on my list.
Be ready.
Pamela, Gone with the Wind.
That's a great pick.
Oh, Gone Wild. Girls Gone
Then
Wild.
I'm going to go. I think this is, I don't know. I guess we had E.T. We have had a little bit of sci-fi tonight. Equilibrium was sci-fi. But I'm going to go big on the sci-fi with a movie that often ends up in people's top 10s. But they probably choose the first original film. I'm going to go with The Empire Strikes Back.
Ooh, I go with the third one.
scandalous maybe. But I just something
Return of
about
the
this
Jedi.
movie. It's a little funnier, a little wittier. The characters seem a
scandalous.
little more lived in. You get Lando Calrissian and Boba Fett and
Yes.
Yoda and all this great like world building.
And the one
establishing.
line that George Lucas didn't like in the movie.
What's that one?
I know. Yeah.
It's so good.
He
It's
hated
so
that.
I
good.
love it. That was improvised.
And
too.
then they
I love
throw
it.
it, and then they throw it back in the next movie when she says it to him. It's all really well used.
Yeah,
man.
John, I think people our age, like we gravitate to Empire Strikes Back. I don't know why.
Return of the
I
love
Jedi
it.
is the best one.
I can appreciate all of it. But for
But
me, if I have to pick one, this one
Yeah.
just seemed way more outrageous. The fact that you would have all your characters basically lose, that the good
Right.
guys lose. It was just not a common thing that you would come across in movies at this time.
John
And
Ratzenberg
the fact that
was
you'd have
in
the biggest success, most successful movie ever made,
Mhm.
and then you're going to make the sequel, and basically, you know, the hero's going to lose his hand. The second hero is going to get frozen in stone. You know, characters are getting like torn apart.
Crazy.
It was a bold
Mhm.
story, and then bringing in a great screenwriter like Lawrence Kasdan, who
Yeah.
really, in my opinion, the best written Star Wars movies were written by
Yeah.
the same dude, and they never brought him back. George Lucas, you are too your hubris cost us a lot of great movies.
But you know what
he screwed himself. I don't know if you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
know this story. When he goes to make Phantom Menace, Lawrence Kasdan's waiting by the phone. He's like, George is going to call me. George is going to call me at some point.
Oh yeah, George.
And then it's the week before the movie goes to start shooting. George calls him. Hey, can you help me with the script for my movie? And he's like, dude, your movie starts in a week. Where was this call like a year ago?
I know. It's like crazy.
How do you wait until the last second to then invite me in to do this? I helped you make this universe. How are you giving me the shot? So he basically hung up on him. Because George Lucas couldn't be bothered to worry about his script. He was too worried about the special effects. And that's why we got the Phantom Menace script that we ended up with.
Oh yeah. And the second one. And the third one.
Yeah.
Still, the third one still beats the first two, because the first two are the worst movies
but
ever.
it's like claiming that one pile of poo is better than a different one. I feel like they're all.
I mean, the Christmas
really
special was better
turd.
than that first movie.
That's just me. So, anyways, I'm definitely a fan. So there you go. It might be the only time that George Lucas's name gets brought up on this show, but who knows? Who knows? But this is the only time he's coming up on my list.
You remember in Clerks, the line that they talk about between Star Wars Empire and the Empire and the Return of the Jedi, right?
I don't remember. I mean, there's
that's
a
where
lot of Star
Dante.
Wars
That's
references.
There was Dante and Randall talking about. He goes, "Which one did you like better?" That's what Randall asked him: Empire or the
Yeah, because he hates
Empire.
all the bears.
And he goes, and he starts talking about, and he tells them that it's about life and how life is a bunch of down endings.
Yeah,
and everything. And he goes, but Jedi only had a bunch of Muppets.
Yep, it's true.
And he was mad about that.
Rogue One is wonderful, and it's a great movie.
My number 2 favorite movie, Rogue One.
So yeah, all right, but let's get over to Carlito's number 12.
12.
Wait, we're on 12?
Yeah. We are on 12.
So technically my 12 is like what, 5 movies now, I think. But anyway,
don't be playing games now.
It's a series.
It's
a series.
Okay.
So it's not like it's, I'm just joking. But
we'll see.
Harry Potter.
I can thank my brother for introducing me to this one, because I originally did not go see this in theaters and did not have much interest in it, because I was like, Matt Damon is an action star, but the Bourne trilogy or quintology now, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on if you're counting the Legacy.
I would not count Legacy, so
which is not a bad movie. It's not
no.
I only count Matt Damon.
Yeah, it's just not. Honestly, it'd be great to see
the identity.
And the Bourne Identity guy was the guy. The director is the same guy who directed Swingers.
Yep, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and a lot. Doug Liman is his name.
Yeah, Doug Liman's first movie was Swingers.
It was the soundtrack.
Didn't he do Go as well? I think he did. Go.
Yeah, Bourne definitely top 50.
Ooh, top 50. All right.
If I had to pick one, it would be Born Supremacy because of Carl Urban, and they kill off the chick.
That's the second
I
one, right?
love
Yeah.
it. It's
Yeah,
really,
and that's probably my
so
favorite as well.
unexpected.
Yeah,
So unexpected. But yeah,
Third one, the chick wasn't all that great.
it's just great spy, just kind of fighting.
Yep.
You know, it's not a real deep series, but
No,
I
but
mean, I
they've got
guess
great
there are some
cameos.
things, but yeah,
You mentioned Carl Urban, obviously Clive Owen in the
Clive
original
Owen in the
one,
original,
so great.
yes.
And then all the different people, like they've had, you know, Joan Allen and David Strathairn, and so many people, like the man in the chair people, the CIA director people.
Oh, yeah.
So many great actors in there.
In the chair. Spider-Man's friend.
Go is a lot of fun. I totally agree, Chris.
Oh man,
Go is a fun movie.
in a while. I used to own the VHS of that movie.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, Bourne series.
Good
Thank
movie.
you to my brother for making me watch that. It was like a winter or something. We rented the it would have been DVD, I believe. And he's like, "You got to watch the other stuff." I'm like, "All right, whatever."
You've seen 40-Year-Old Virgin, right? Where they make that joke. He's sitting
Oh
there
yeah, no,
watching
I mean
Bourne
that came
Identity.
after, right? But yeah,
He's like,
yeah, dude,
I
it
didn't
made
really
me
think he could do that. I thought it was
Yep.
kind of a Nancy. but he's kicking
100%.
ass in this one.
I was totally closed-minded back then, man. I was like, I just don't see it.
That's Paul Rudd's line.
I got my Pierce Brosnan, James Bond. I don't see this Matt Damon doing anything, you know.
That's fair.
But anyway,
He's
What's
George
up,
Lazenby.
Bogger?
He's a George
What's up,
Lazenby kind of character.
what's up, Fogs?
Shots fired. All right, number 12 for Matt.
We're going back to E.T. again.
Ooh,
Yeah.
look at that. We've got two doubles tonight.
Yeah,
The longest
first movie
title I
I
gotta
ever
write.
saw in the theater.
Probably
You
won't be
too.
the last doubles.
Yeah, when I was
Wow.
4 years old.
Look
1982.
at us twinning here, Matt.
same
Love it.
year my sister was born.
Wow.
But that was back in the day when movies could sit in a theater for over a year.
It's true. Especially
And-
if they were big hits.
Yeah. They were making money left and right. Star Wars was re-released a bunch of times.
Yes.
Same thing with this. It was re-released, I believe. And I saw it in 2002, the 20th anniversary edition on the big screen.
It's
Sody
such a
nachos.
good movie. You know, the music, obviously, John Williams does such a great job with the
Oh, yes.
music. But there's just
ILM.
that theme of the boy and his dog, that boy and his friend. There's that theme is so beautifully handled.
Yes. Drew
it's really
Barrymore.
hits the heartstrings. Yeah, Drew Barrymore. And very young Drew Barrymore. And was it Henry Thomas? Isn't that the little boy,
Yeah.
Henry Thomas?
Yeah, he played in that other
Wonderful.
movie.
He's been in a lot of stuff.
Cloak and Dagger.
Was he in Cloak and Dagger? I know
Yeah.
Legends of the Fall with Brad Pitt. He's the youngest brother in Legends of the Fall.
He was
so
in
he's
one of those.
in a
What
lot
was
of
he
stuff.
in? Was he in the one with Stand By Me? Was he in that one?
No, he's not in Stand By Me.
Was he in the
let's
other
see.
one? The
He
vampire
did
one.
he did the Alien movie Fire in the Sky. He was in Suicide Kings, Gangs of New York. Let's see, any of the other ones.
I thought he was in the other one, the other movie, not the one with the vampires, the one with
Lost Boys?
yeah, I thought he was in that.
No,
one.
he's not in that one.
Okay,
No.
it's not in either one because I thought he was.
Nope. But yeah, lots of he was a child actor, and then he's continued to work all the way to today. He's been in a lot of stuff to this very day.
Henry C. Thomas.
He was in Dr. Sleep, the sequel to The Shining.
I like that. I like Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, he's had some television stuff, but yeah. He's
So for
continued to work.
me, guys, Star Trek 4: The Voyage Home was the first one I saw in theaters. So
Yeah, that
it
was a
been
good
5,
movie.
I think.
Bring the wheels home.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
That theater doesn't even
Rafficon.
exist anymore. God damn.
Yeah, actually, the theater that they passed in Road to Perdition doesn't exist anymore. It wasn't even there. It wasn't even there when they passed by it.
If we start
It was
talking about
right-
movie theaters going away, I think we're
Oh,
going to get
man.
it. It's a long
I'm gonna
list.
get
these
sad,
days.
too.
Yeah.
That one was long gone. That was the one where I saw a couple good movies there.
Damn. Yeah. A great movie, and I think Spielberg has continued to kind of dance through our lists all the way along. And I still have one more Spielberg movie for my top 10.
think
so-
I got
That
one
newest
more, too.
movie he did.
No, Not that one.
No.
I don't even know which
movie.
one you're talking about, but it's definitely not that one.
It's definitely not.
Oh, the one where it was about him. I think it was about him. As
Oh,
like
that
a
was the
boy.
one, the Fablemans or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like about his own childhood. Yeah.
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 All right.
Temple of Doom.
I mean, that's not a bad movie.
Crystal
My number 12. If you followed my channel from the beginning, the early days, I used to have a poster of this movie directly behind me
I can't remember
for an
which one it was.
incredibly long time. It's still in my living room. I'm a big film noir fan. I know we talked Maltese Falcon earlier, but
Clockwork Orange.
The later years, you got Chinatown.
Oh, that's a good
Roman Polanski, Jack Nicholson.
Oh, yes.
Houston. John Huston's in it. Faye Dunaway, obviously, so fantastic. A great update, you could say, to the detective noir genre that had kind of died away and not really wasn't doing anything in that at that time. I love a good mystery movie. I love a good private detective movie. This movie had all of those things, and at the center of it, an absolutely like captivating Jack Nicholson performance, where he spends so much of the movie either saying nothing or being so like sharp, quippy that he cuts through everything with what he says.
Oh yeah.
When they're like, oh, everybody who comments about the cut to his nose, he's got some funny one-liner to come back. Oh, I cut it shaving, or oh, your wife closed her legs too fast, or whatever. Like he's got a quippy way to come back to anybody who comments about how his nose looks like it hurts. That looks like it hurts. Oh, only when I breathe. It's just he's really just right on it. And of course, that's the screenplay by Robert Towne, such a really wonderful writer who really just crushed that story. I know Roman Polanski is persona non grata in the U.S. these days for very good reasons. I'm not questioning that at all.
That's why he directs stuff in France.
But this is a masterpiece. It really is. It stands the test of time and is superb. And then, of course, having John Huston, the great filmmaker who did The African Queen and other things with Bogart, having him play the heavy and the villain, it's just so wonderful. Such a great nod to his contribution to film. So there you go. Chinatown, number 12. And that leads us to the final movie. We have one last round the horn.
Make it count.
All that's left is the top 10 next time we do this. So
make it count.
For disappointment.
Number 11, Carlito Classico. What do you got for us?
I got a story that's of land, air, and sea in non-sequential order. By one of my favorite film directors.
Navy SEALs?
Starring Michael Biehn and Charlie Sheen. No.
Hot Shots.
Dunkirk. Which I think, for me, ages so well. And I saw that in IMAX like 3 times.
Somewhere. Yes, Nolan.
Oh, dude. And the way that Tom Hardy acts through a
huge face mask the whole time.
Pilot's mask, it's just with the eyes and his voice
and his body movement.
Tom Hardy.
I know a lot of people don't like the out of time kind of storytelling, but
it obviously works. I think it's just so overused by Nolan that sometimes people get tired of it, but it works.
I can see that. Yeah, if you're a fan, you're a fan. If you're not, then you're not going to like it. But I also think that it also shows a side of war.
Taylor Winder could have left this comment and it would have worked just as well. This movie ages well. It's
actually, I think it's
old.
2014, isn't it? I think it's actually 11 years
in for
old,
Taylor Winder tonight is Chris from Chaos and Comics.
Oh, Chris. I think Chris is still 6 years old. Anyway, so yeah, I saw it in IMAX like 3 or 4 times.
I wish I had seen it in theaters.
It's funny,
like the sound design would have been incredible.
Oh crap, man! The sound design, and then also the full IMAX just screen, especially during the fighter pilots stuff and the beach. But God, I was fully immersed. The beginning, there's like no words. I think for like 11 minutes or something. and he's just kind of running, and like there's the gunfire, and then they're on the beach.
Sure.
Anyway, the soundtrack that Hans Zimmer did for this one,
heck yeah, man.
This and Interstellar, like two, and maybe.
I mean, I'm expecting Interstellar to be in the top 10 when we get around to that. You've been kind of quiet about that one.
I don't think I have Nolan in top 10, but
Nolan is not in your top 10.
I'm just being Chris for a moment,
but I think you're being a troll. Yeah.
So the way
number one,
the way Hans Zimmer incorporates the time stuff that Nolan loves to do in the music, like literally, it's like a crescendo that never stops, and it just like you feel like it could go on forever. And God, man, it's just piercing through the soul. And I think also. One of the things that like a lot of people didn't like was the side of war it shows with Cillian Murphy's character, where he totally just has a bug out.
Sure.
And, you know, understandably so, doesn't want to be drugged back into, and you know, the side effects that happen from that. And
oh man, yeah, he's dealing with
just a lot of great actors, beautiful cinematography, and I love the ending too. And it just, yeah, man, it's perfect for me as far as a story of war. And like I said earlier, most of the war stuff has kind of dropped down on my list for a lot of reasons. But I think this one has actually gone up it. So,
nice.
Yeah, I recommend everybody sees it. But if you don't like the non-sequential stuff, I understand. Like me and my dad have discussed it at length. He was not a fan of that. He likes a very linear storytelling, and that's why he likes Saving Private Ryan the best. Also, is because you know it basically starts from the beginning, goes in. But
the one I missed was 1914. I think Sam Mendes, the director
of that
Road to Perdition, did it. I haven't seen it though.
Sam Mendes. He directed a James Bond movie.
He did a couple of James Bond movies. He did
no
Casino Royale.
No, he did the what's the one?
Quantum of Solace.
No. Skyfall. He did Skyfall.
Oh shoot, that sucks.
Not Spectre. Okay.
But like Sam Mendes, his big claim to fame originally was he did American Beauty, won the Oscar for that.
Oh yes, and then that was more of a comedy to me.
Well, maybe
he did. But he did Road to Perdition, and
I saw that
1914. Tony is still awake.
Tony, how you doing?
Tony, you're awake.
This guy.
What is he doing still up? He must be putting the sauce.
I don't even know.
That's crazy.
He's smelling the cork.
All right. Well, there you go. Two war films tonight. Although if you count Gladiator, 3 war films tonight from Carlito. He's really doing it.
He's going for it.
I think that's the last of the war stuff.
All right. Well, let's see. We'll find out next time. Maddie, what is your number 11?
Number 11. We're going all the way back to Portland. We're going Oregon. We're going back to 1985. We're going with Goonies.
Yes. Ooh, bearded comic bro would be really proud of you right now.
Love the Goonies.
He actually visited that area when we were in Portland. He's like, I gotta drive up and see where they shot Goonies.
You can stay at the house.
You can. There's a lot of things you can do for Goonies up there. He went to the jail. The jail is still there. The police, like where they shoot, they set the fire out front and do the police chase.
But you can't film. I've heard you cannot film inside the store.
Okay.
Where they show they had the car go by.
Oh, okay. And he puts the milkshake all over the window.
Yeah, he does that. So yeah, they can't. You go inside there. I've heard that people have done YouTube videos, said you can't go inside there and film. They won't let you. But you can film the outside and everything around there, but not inside.
There is a video. Someone did a tour recently of that house and stuff. But
yeah,
nice
on YouTube somewhere.
But
greatest fun director, movie.
Greatest director directed the greatest movie of all time, Superman.
So you're hinting at that maybe there'll be a Superman in your top 10.
Maybe not.
Plus, what's her name? Was it Carrie something? I don't know. That redhead chick. I liked her.
Oh yeah,
I can't.
One of my first crushes as a kid.
Now.
Yeah, Carrie something or other. I can't remember her last name.
20 years after its release. Wow, that is a long time after.
Yeah, and don't forget the music video.
I don't remember a music video.
Oh, the Jane Fonda one? Are you talking about?
No, the one where they're okay. The music video is playing
Oh.
in the movie. That's when they tie up. They tie up his older brother.
Oh yes,
I don't remember.
The Cyndi
It's,
Lauper video.
Cyndi
with the
Lauper,
with the
the Cyndi Lauper
wrestlers.
song.
With the wrestlers and all that stuff, and they're trying to take over her gas station, and then she somehow finds her grandfather's map or something between something or other, and then meets the Goonies in there singing about the Goonies. Woo!
Yeah, the Cyndi Lauper song I know was a big one.
Great.
Yeah. And then she had another video. She had a lot of music on that one, but yeah. Richard Donner, directed, produced by Steven Spielberg.
It was. Yes. This is a Spielberg adjacent picture.
Dude, the pirate ship, man.
No, but Richard Donner, I mean, great filmmaker. Like so many
and then
incredible films.
Basically, the mama's dead. She died. The other guy, I think, is dead.
If you're gonna keep, I mean, we did Maltese Falcon a little bit ago. That one was obviously everybody was dead. So
yeah, but it's so iconic that they actually got them all back together recently. I heard.
So for Richard Donner, you've got Superman 1 and technically 2. Lady Hawk, which I love.
Oh yeah.
Goonies, Lethal Weapon, Scrooged, Maverick.
Weapon.
Yeah.
Let's see, and that was he kind of peaked with Maverick. After that, it was a lot of like lesser stuff.
But he left us with when he left this earth, he left us with a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And The Omen. Yeah, he did The Omen. That was his first movie.
He did that one?
Yeah. I still think he was screwed in Superman 2 by the Salzman.
100% he was.
Most people
he was absolutely screwed.
Yeah. Especially they did it in the third one too. They did that with Margot Kidder. They screwed her over too. Yeah. Gave her 5 lines.
Brothers, man.
Gave her Warner 5 Brothers. Lines because the Salzmans didn't like what she had to say about the movie. So they gave her 5 lines and that was it.
So uncool, man. Yep.
I know. And then what do they do? We're going to give Christopher Reeves more power, and he's going to go and give us the stupid 4th movie because he didn't like the 3rd one. But we got Brainiac. I saw a video on that where they think that the computer
in the
3rd one was supposed to be their
I heard that
Brainiac thing, and Richard Pryor was supposed to be Brainiac or whatever eventually.
Chris is taking more shots at you, Carlito.
But yeah,
I don't get it.
Goonies is the greatest.
He's saying I saw a movie that came out just this year, but it hasn't.
I was just kidding.
Aged poorly. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I have not seen Anora.
But you know, you're never gonna find movies like that again.
Sure.
You know, coming of age movies, stuff like that. You're just never gonna see it. You know, with great actors that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. So many great actors in that.
I mean, the one guy isn't even acting. The guy who played Chunk, I think he's a lawyer or something.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think he is.
He's good friends with the guy that played Data.
Yeah,
because they were at the award ceremony when he won the award.
Dude, that was awesome too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a guy that went from Goonies and playing "You Cheat, Dr. Jones, You Cheat."
Yep. And he was in Encino Man too. He had a role in Encino. That's where he met Brendan Fraser.
And then he goes on to be the greatest guy. Then he has that new movie that came out, whatever it was he was doing.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And then now he's got he had an action movie that just came out not too long ago.
Yeah. I want to see that just to see what it is. But
thank God Chris is gone. Jeez.
I already told everybody what my final film was going to be. I just didn't tell you where it was going to land because Matt had it on his list too. We got another crossover. Ooh. I'm finishing out with The Princess Bride, a movie that I kind of found a little, or at least I learned I loved it later in life.
I'm disappointed. I want
it's just fun. It's just funny. It's just beautiful. It's well played out and immaculately cast and wonderfully photographed. And it's just absolutely a joy. That movie is absolutely a joy.
And he's the only man that speaks with an English accent.
It is endlessly quotable, right? It's endlessly quotable.
Yeah. And I remember when he did Men in Tights after that.
it's a worthy contender, and I think it might be fun at the end of this to go back and look at how many movies were on all
crossed
3 of our
over.
lists or on multiple lists. How many
movies on your
seen.
guys' list that I haven't seen?
That's a longer list.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's a longer list.
That's
100. That's 100.
Let's see how many directors of the same director we have on our list.
I mean, I have a lot of Spielberg on my list. I know that's probably the guy who ranks highest for me.
Nolan.
I don't have anybody twice, so I don't know what you're talking about.
There's no way. There's Nolan way.
Maybe it's 2 Spielberg, so that was it.
Well,
so huge thank you to you guys for being willing to do this, because we got one more coming up at the end of May on the 31st.
Oh, yes.
So 3 weeks away, we will be unveiling the final volume in this, the top 10. And hope everybody is willing to come back around and hang out with us.
I've got some goodies on there.
Nearing the end of that run. I will say I have nothing after 1994 on my top 10. Everything is previous to that. So
let's see here.
Lots of early movies for me.
Early.
In fact, I think I only have 2 90s movies, and then everything else in the top 10 is 80s or before.
I don't think I have anything before 2005.
1990. That's the earliest. That's the latest movie I got on that list.
Actually, 2 90s and 2 80s. So then the other 6 are earlier than the 80s.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe somebody will change their mind, right?
I'm down, Chris. Let's do it.
I have 3 in the 3.
I'll follow up this show late night with our top 100 blue films. I don't know what that means.
Blue. Movies with blue in it?
We'll find out.
Damn.
Blue Lagoon.
I'm going to get out of here.
Back to the Blue Lagoon.
My oldest one's going to be 94, so that should probably
Blue Velvet.
Yeah. Anyway, I got that somewhere around here.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, when you got 900 movies, what do you do?
I thank everybody for coming by.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm not gonna take us out too long. But we are 2 hours in, so we're gonna close
Blue Lagoon.
We see Carlito's like behind Matt. Matt already made that joke.
He did.
Oh, don't forget the Return to the Blue Lagoon.
Oh yeah.
Blue Thunder.
Blue Valentine. That's a depressing movie.
Yeah.
Blue Valor, was that one? Something like that.
I don't know what that one.
Varsity Blues.
Ooh, there you go. Devil in a Blue Dress.
Yeah. My Blue Heaven.
I don't know what 100 blue films means. No, I don't. I don't know what that means.
I don't know either, but
I don't know either.
It sounds a little spicy, but we'll find out, I guess.
We'll find out when he does it.
Right. All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a great night. We'll see you back on the 31st for the finale.